Okay. Uh, Good evening, everybody. Yeah. Uh, I don't have any following on YouTube or Instagram in any meaningful way, and I don't try to cultivate anything on social media. I find it's a time not only time consuming, but it takes your thoughts and your process of productivity uh, sort of somewhat well it's taken away from your main task of the day, yeah, which is to do your daily routine, and yeah, and unless you work in that environment, uh, then it's different altogether, and I don't work in social media, so, and of course, after having access to the internet for the last 22 years, I mean, in the beginning, it's a learning curve and all the mystery of the information superhighway, right? Yeah. Uh, so then, of course, you go through these phases of learning and discovering and getting understanding the world around you much better. In other words, how the economy functions, the world of politics and influencers. And I'm not one of the influencers, and I don't aim to be one. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with influencer. All respect. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people have a different point of view, but as a sort of middle of the road point of view, it's a job for a lot of people, and so. But then influencing could be a bad thing as well. I mean, Cambridge Analytica, and I don't go politics, yeah, but that's a different topic altogether, and it's not why I'm here today right now. And I did make a video. I was it this week, sometime this week. Because it's Friday, the 25th of November, 2022. So we are almost at. There's a sales going on Black Friday. Yeah, I mean, so there's people are reducing this time. It's amazing. There's so many, you know, deals. People want to sell. Yeah, up to 60% in some places. I've seen in town here in Leicester City. Yeah, in the East Midlands, and of course Leicester is a university town, so there's two university and there's lots of other educational institutions here. So traditionally, this place of the world has been known for engineering, but that's gone by the wind, yeah, offshore manufacturing, so and there was hosiery and all that. So there's a bit of background, yeah, to Leicester, and that's how long I've been in Leicester, 22 years since my first purchase of a laptop, not desktop it was, yeah, with a 3 gigabyte hard drive, yeah, in this very flat, yeah, here, well, though it was 20 years ago, I bought this computer, yeah, here in this flat. That's how long I've lived in this flat right now, yeah. So, and had I, the previous 2 years, yeah, I rented another house somewhere. Uh, well, it was a house share anyway, right now, yeah. So, I mean, it was learning about computing, and that's how first thing because I still in London right now, yeah, I never got around to I mean, I see people using computer, and I always very associate with office work. So since I wasn't into office work, I was more into sort of hands-off kind of job, like you know, factory jobs and taxi driver, unsuccessful ones. Yeah, that's how I ended up in Leicester. To get some kind of education and all that right now, because self-employment is not for everybody. Really. It works sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes. There is variables, yeah, so I'm not going to do that, yeah, now. That's not the purpose of this video, yeah. The purpose of this video, yeah. Yes, a bit of gadget, yeah. Uh, you know, cool it down, as they say, yeah. Sometimes, people get carried away what they want to say and starts, becoming negative vibes, yeah, and blaming the world and all that sort of thing. And here we are. three sets and off right there. Okay. I don't think I need it. It's quite warm here, but sometimes like behind me there's a exercise bicycle. Yeah, you can see right now. Yeah, uh, here we are. Yeah, there's exercise because I sit there sometimes right now. Yeah, and after about usually it's about an hour, it gets really warm, right? Because you're exercising hard day and yeah, because you can usually come out outdoor for a jog 3 kilometers, 3 miles, that's 5 kilometers. So, because I try to compartmentalize it, because if you're going to do long runs, you have to spend more time and usually wake up very early right now. Yeah, so I'm going to do my 3, 4 times a week strength training, and so you got to have a break days well for strength training. You do other exercise as well right now. Yeah. Okay. Now I digress completely right now. Yeah. Now we all have the expression: do if you're damn if you do and damn if you don't. Yeah. Okay. Now I went to one of them job center related work training programs right now. Yeah, called sector based work program or academies. Yeah. So some months ago now, right? Yeah, and we did a week course and we're supposed to work some kind of call center capacity from home, and the company will supply a laptop and there's supposed to be a guaranteed interview and such things, right? Yeah, of course, all exciting and everything. God, yeah, I mean, can you imagine working from home, being a boss? I mean, you can talk because when you work in the office, your line managers. I mean, you feel like you're giving a script, everything from day to one. The moment you went enter the, because I worked call center before a few times, yeah, it's not a happy experience, I'm afraid. And lately, you have seen people scam call centers, around the world. I'm not going to name where around the world, but it's there, yeah, you can see, yeah, where they are, right, yeah, I don't want to point finger at the sky, yeah, but and it's really, was on self-denial. I mean, being city center, call center, renting massive office blocks right here, and there's coming people all around the world. And with city government, local government, regional government, central government in these nations right now, I don't know. They're probably on having a meltdown in Twitter. Meltdown in Twitter. It's very topical. Right now. So I mean, but that's not my problem right now. So I thought, well, this is a good idea during lockdown, COVID, and a lot of people were start working from home, and maybe it's my opportunity. And I remember uh, people wanting staff, doing COVID for the hospital in particular. And I actually live in the neighborhood. There's a hospital there, a massive hospital right there. Yeah. So yeah. So I thought, okay, why not? There's nothing else to do right now, yeah, other than, there's a registered agency and I go to work here and there, through agencies right now, yeah. Because getting a full-time job, universities is full of graduate people and they're doing those very jobs that people who are basically uh, just working people, yeah, they have to do those jobs, yeah. And so it's just complete sort of make sponge right here, right now, yeah. And so, okay. So, you go through these things that you focus yourself and you want to do these jobs right now, yeah. And then you get the qualification, and God knows how many qualifications I took right now, yeah. Bicycle mechanic certificate, security guard badge, SIA badge, uh, and so and then you find out, oh God, you're going to debt, buy a car, and 0 hour contract, and it's complete now. And you're torturing your brain, and these people, right, they're just taking the mick out of you. They sit somewhere and they insult your intelligence left, right, and center. You plead with them in so many sort of ways to take you on as a employee and everything, and they just like, oh, this is not going to work right now, yeah, because if you're going to make a career or do something right now, it just completely upend by other people's, you know, management style and, generally speaking, there's a lot of prejudices in the workplace, yeah, uh, 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 and you can tell, yeah, the vibe around you right now, yeah. I mean, I mean, a tiger is a tiger. You can't you can't ask it to run slowly. It runs, it runs. It goes for its prey. So a person who's focused on career, he or she wants to go to their chosen path, yeah. So I'm just saying, and how can you? So sometimes you have to really pretend you don't know much, yeah, just to get along and maybe tidbits of information. You can, somehow get a job or even the good side of some people right now, yeah. And for most part, when I was in London, I never had that kind of problems right now, yeah, because London is a massive place. I mean, whoever wants to work in this works there right now. I mean, whatever job, people have no qualification working, become company bosses and all, because you go there, you give an opportunity, usually start on the shop floor, yeah, and there's, but you have to work, right? You have to focus on the thing. You got to get priorities right. Yeah. You can't expect people to like easy money. That doesn't happen, I'm afraid. Right? Easy money gets you what? Yeah, a debt to the national government, uh, inflation, and so on. These are the other stories that I don't want to go into now. Now, so of course, yeah, and I waited and I waited after the course, and we were told that we passed, everybody passed, and and the last day we left, the course on the Friday that was, of course, like it was today, right there. Somebody just set a WhatsApp group, and we did that and we exchanged information on that. And I think one person showed this picture that they were working for this company. I'm not going to name this company because I'll tell you why I'm not going to name this company right now. Yeah. Because even if I was to name them right now, yeah, it doesn't mean nothing right now. Yeah, everything based on legal, it's based on legal premises. So if you're going to go after a company, all that, you got to go through that type of route, complaint procedures, this, that. And this program came from the Job Centre Plus, which is a government department, right? Department of Works and Pension. So I looked on Google to see how to complain. Well, the very person I saw today, right now, yeah, she admonished me because I used the Job Centre email. Now, some time back, yeah, she asked me if I want an information right now, yeah, send it to her work email, not her personal. I mean, why would anybody wants to send it? Somebody, I mean, why would I want anybody, the personal email, because I don't have their personal email. And even if I knew them in different capacity, right now, yeah, why would I send them? Because you see, you can get mixed. You could live in one town and people know them social media, and they could be working in one place, and this. But that was not good. So that's not the case right now. So that email stayed in my Yahoo mail, yeah. So of course, I was happy news, everything right, yeah. I've done a few courses, yeah. One course is, yeah, I'm waiting to do a test, yeah. And started another course this week actually, right now. And did my first aid course, yeah. It's a compulsory thing that you do. It's a part of a 4 weeks program, full-time program right now, yeah. Here in the Montfort University, Leicester. This company is just a company based somewhere else, you can tell them where they're from, yeah, it's somewhere, and they just rented the building, it's an empty building, just because to cater for the community here in Leicester right now, yeah. So that's all good and all that now, yeah. So, I mean, I barely managed to pass this because my mind is like everywhere. I can't really focus on one thing because looking for jobs, energy prices, money issues, it's all to do with money now. Because before you can go to work, yeah, there's so many jobs and car insurance is so high now that it's beyond my affordability. Right, yeah. People who have regular job they can't afford, and people with no jobs, yeah. And I bought second-hand car, and it took me to financial ruination. And I'm going to one financial restructuring. I just sort of passed the time of the financial restructuring here. It's a 12-month debt relief order, yeah. It's the first time in my life right now, and there was a time when I would be too ashamed to do the like go bankrupt, or I didn't go bankrupt right now, yeah, because it's early education, like bankrupt, shameful, yeah, not having sideburns, shameful. that, well, nobody would say something like that. I'm just saying like that. I mean, people might maybe up to no good or something like that. But there's no shame in these things because we live in a financially linked system. So sometimes things happen. This something happen all the time right now. Yeah, financial issues. People have that they lost their job or the business decline and or all manner of societal issues right now. Yeah, businesses, professional issues. People they have to restructure. Yeah. So the first time because I didn't really, I thought I could pay off my debt, receive my credit cards and all that. But because of the 2 years of COVID and all that sort of thing, right now, yeah, that wasn't going to be a possibility any longer. I'm just sorry to apologize. I'm just looking at the time, how much time I'm not wagging my finger at anybody here. I know I'm a very body language kind of person, but again, it's nothing like that right now. Yeah. I'm not here to sort of, vent my anger at anybody or anybody, yeah, because I know my anger will not get me anywhere, yeah. Now, why am I not going to complain? Well, the very person, yeah, was so enraged that I used the job center email, yeah. And this same person, some time back, a number of years back now, asked me to use the same email to send information because of Universal Credit right now on Journal. If they want documents, they will give you a link or something. I looked, yeah, and then you can upload documents. But if it's an email from another company, yeah, I didn't see any procedure. I'm not that technically inclined, not anymore because I used to be, yeah, because too much knowledge is also not a well. People have to eat as well, right now. So let's put this way, right now. So I said, okay, was that your personal admin? Said, no, personal admin. And I was going to say right now, yeah, what makes you think you're important? I'm somebody sending you an email, right? But I know they live in a very political, correct environment, yeah. And so I pause for a moment, yeah. And I know how to, because I worked in security, so I know how to calm situation right now, yeah. But I can tell this individual right now, yeah, who's allegedly my work coach, yeah, she's having a fun day at work, yeah, poking at my job center, job search endeavors, like maybe you're good enough, yeah. You're going to these courses and all that, yeah, one after this, yeah, but you're the one who sent me there right now, yeah. I might have requested it right now, yeah. And this company, I tried to email them, ring them, and now they're telling them, yeah, the job center, she read an email to me, yeah, that apparently they offered me a job, and somehow I did not either accept it or I didn't make sufficient effort to get in touch with them. Or worse to this effect right now. Yeah. I asked them if I could take a Photoshop of the email or a transcript. No. And then she abruptly ended the interview, and I said, oh God, no, yeah. If I go too poetic or maybe too Shakespearean, all my rights and all that sort of thing like that. And I'm thinking, God, what is going on? It's a job center here right now, yeah. So I'm thinking, well, this reminds me, right? One thing, right now, I still have belonged to this dating magazine back in the day in London, right now, to subscribe to them right now, yeah. And there was somebody called Civil Servant, yeah. And I don't know which department government this individual is to work. Said you want to look for a pen pal or whatever, or somebody go out with, yeah. And it's a good thing I did. And I said, well, a boring civil servant. Why would I want to go out with a boring civil servant? I was right, wasn't I'm not pointing my finger at this individual in any way right now. I'm not going to name them, nothing right now. I said, oh God, what is going on here? Here I am. So everything is documented, electronic, right? I've got my email, everything. I informed them. I'm doing this and that. No response. Many weeks has passed by. It's like calling emergency service at 999, and 10 years later they call you, excuse me, our tire on the way, collapsed, and the sergeant was having a head day because he doesn't know there's a man and a woman or whatever. So I don't want to be sexist as well, But I just put a bit of humor to all this right there, yeah. Like talks, yeah. I mean, I don't, because it's very, very poisonous atmosphere, that kind of inference, man become woman, all that. Because I know that it's toxic right now. Yeah, but just like layman terms, and I'm trying to explain that. Yeah. Um, and then oh yeah, it's because oh the cat ran away with the next door's mate. Yeah, and rubbish my hallway and all that. Yeah, the police been here. That kind of thing, right? Yeah. And I'm thinking, yeah, but shouldn't you ring them, phone them, email them, message them? Like, oh, our client, we paid you so much money. Yeah, this is the taxpayers' money. Why don't you ring them, text message them? It doesn't cost. And said, and they assumed this some kind of, like in the, the states of England in the 19th and early part of the 20th century until they were abolished. Yeah, after the First World War, like, oh God, lordly, oh God, yeah, everything is so all powerful and you are in the bottom, like that kind of approach. I said, look, this is no good. Here we are, you're paying good money, taxpayers' money, yeah, my money, your money, everybody's money, right now, because it's a collective pool of money goes through your taxation, right now. And there was lots of more than 20 people, 30 people perhaps, yeah, I've got the exact counting that. So if they charge them even £500, yeah, 25 people, that's £12,500. Renting a room for 10p or £10 or £100 or £200 or £500 for £1,000, yeah, even £2,000 right there for a week right there. And you pay the instructors and all that, your taxes and everything, cost and everything. You make money, and you of course every week, and you're making lots of money right now, yeah, as a training providing company. And I'm thinking, okay, that's very nice, yeah. I mean, very civilized, yeah, getting money, yeah, making business. It's all good. You're getting employment making employment for the community and helping out people to get a job, helping hand, yeah. But and then, yeah, today I had the job interview, right? Sorry, job center work coach appointment, and it's like as though I've stolen the neighborhood's fighting rooster. It's like, oh, I told you email, etc. Hold your horses, right? Yeah. What is going on here? Yeah. They never reply to my journal, nothing, any meaningful word in the, in the King's English, yeah. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, so shall I use maybe Latin? Maybe I don't know Latin right now. Yeah. Now, if somebody doesn't communicate with you right now, yeah, and as an organization or their appointed representative, I say with people who deal with. Well, what am I supposed to do? So this made me realize one thing. Part of large organization and part of corporation. Yeah. They don't see you as like an individual. They just see a number. They can collect money, on an individual basis, yeah. And if they have 50,000 people on the dole, yeah, then they make lots of money, and that's it. Now you think, okay, if I rent my hotel room in Qatar, there's a World Cup going on, as you can appreciate right now, yeah. Well, I mean, I paid for the hotel room, and it's by right that's my purchase right now, yeah. But same token, right, yeah, if you buy something right now, yeah, either through government sponsor programs or job center programs, yeah, department works and pension, it's like a purchase, yeah, it's like a two-way transaction. So what's going on here right now, yeah? And I'm thinking, am I in? What is it, yeah? There's no sardine left in England anymore. I mean, is it right after the Second World War? Winston Churchill wants the empire back, but he can't. He's out of power. England do needs, like helping hand, and who better else to help out was Uncle Sam in America, the Marshall Plan. What's going on here? Britain is a fairly prosperous country right now, yeah. Although people are going through lots of issues now, but nowhere comparing to the poverty and the degradation that we find all around the world. Nowhere, there's no comparison. Yeah. But people are used to a certain standard of life and inflation, cost of living, and the more you earn, the more you spend, and the list goes on right now. But people are living hand to mouth, basically. I mean, it's no shame. You have people wonder they're solicitors. Next day, they're working, helping out in food banks, yeah. And how I know these things, local news, yeah. I think, well, I'm waiting for my wages, yeah, and I need to buy food, and I'm renting this place with a girlfriend, and there's no money, you know. And this guy, is going to be a future judge, and who knows, government minister there, say, an MP maybe one day, and have his lovely Barack Obama esque story. Oh yes, dreams of my fathers. Oh yes, food bank, lovely. Yeah, oh yes, it's all to get people support. Put them in power, and they're put by the military industrial complex. Yeah. I'm not saying anything about Barack Obama. I know there's lots of people who adore him right now. Yeah, but I have to say what I think of this man right now. Yeah, personally, I don't think anything of him right now. Yeah, it's just a career politician. That's all I can say. Yeah, but he's a foreign leader. I live in Britain. Yeah, I'm a British citizen. You know, according to the laws of Great Britain. Yeah, you know, I'm a British citizen. Yeah. How I became a British citizen? Well, you know, uh, dreams of my father. Back in the 50s, they came, to work in the foundries of England right now, yeah. Factories, yeah. So before robotics and everything, so it was mainly, engineering works, yeah. Everything was done manually. So if you're making tires, it takes so many people to make these things right now, yeah. So now it's all sort of automated right now. So I mean, and of course the Raj legacy, the British Empire, the India, the partition, and so on, so on, so on. Yeah. So that's how I came here, right? Yeah. As a toddler, right now, yeah. With my rest of my sibling and my parents. Yeah. I had wonderful parents right now. My father no longer alive in this world, but my mom still lives in London. Right now. Now, the thing that's a bit of background right now. Now, why would I want to complain? If I go to the counselor, the very person I spoke to said, "I'm going to complain about you." Yeah. Said, okay. Then, okay, what are you going to complain about me? And I'm supposed to ask her manager to complain about her. So everybody will know in the whole, so it's like it's toxic. I mean, you can't function with these people. I mean, you're supposed to be an adult here, educated, went to college, universities, and people I can see if and it's going to take so many days and to return and what will happen eventually is like, oh, you're in the wrong and we're in the right. And so if by the time I get round to the solicitor route, the information route, and everything, and no, I don't need any law firm going to take my, these things like, believe me, and I'm thinking, okay, I've been walked over all along right now, yeah, yeah, and now I'm having to defend them, yeah, and again, why am I not complaining? Well, I started a course this week right now, yeah. It's a 4 weeks course, part of a security job related course. It's called SIA. I've done this before, yeah. Not only here in Leicester, but I've in London as well. But it was never a happy ending right now, yeah. Because it's 7 on, 7 off, right? Night shift, day shift, yeah. Various sites, yeah, and really, it takes any semblance of normality away from your life, and sleep deprivation, and I wouldn't really go that route and again. But why am I getting this? It's because this is a follow up to the next program I went to do, the CSCS card. I'm still waiting for the just sent them an email a few hours ago to say when am I going to do the digital test here locally in Leicester. But these things are done the same day, the same week, and there's no communication. I already sent them an email before. They said, "Oh, we'll let you know." I told the very same work coach that I left the number and everything. So then I came across this program right, yeah, 4 weeks program right now, yeah, and so once you get the badge, right? I mean, I've got my DBS check already. I've done it last year. I mean, I don't seem to. I have spent money that I don't have. Right? No, all preparation but no action. Yeah. That's the basic one, but you have to do an enhanced one. But that's no fine. Yeah. I can drive anybody's car. I've driven celebrities, not celebrities, well-known politicians in the House of Parliament in London, in the Commons. Yeah. And that's against the Who right now. So I always like, excuse me, in case I become famous in London or Great Britain, I do have to have my, do care of rules of Britannia, yeah, the typewriters. Because I mean, I love London, because London is I feel I am part of London, right? Because although I live in Leicester, I feel like, and I also love Leicester as well because I've been here 22 years like that. But you feel like the whole thing is like it embraces you. The whole city embraces you, like in so many directions, right? Yeah, and it never lets you down. It's like, yeah, and I never had to confront this type of regional kind of mentality. I don't know what it is. Here, right? I'm trying to find out. Right? But I'm a person in a hurry, like a lot of people are in a hurry now, to back into track, work, start reliving normal life now, right now. I mean, 2 years and plus this very room right now, this very flat, the COVID, I mean, the nightmare and all the heartache and all the, terrible suffering of the people of Britain right now, yeah. And people of all the people of the world right now, yeah. I mean, it's not to be repeated, yeah. Pray to God, no, yeah, because people, I mean, yeah, the suffering is just, you can't quantify the suffering people went through. I mean, just every direction you look and you think, God, yeah, this is the end of the world. I mean, can I say my last prayers? Yeah. And, it's very sad, yeah, the time we lived, yeah. Everybody did right now, yeah. So, and I'm thinking, okay, so if I was to complain right now, yeah, this will go to the whole process. Take many months, will take the next year, and I'm going to see these people, yeah. Then I've got to appeal and this, that, and this company, and they're just sitting in this big office because, yeah. And I've seen them, like, I saw a program some time ago about call centers somewhere in the world. I'm not going to say which country. Believe me, I know. Yeah, but you can guess where they are, right? And I'm thinking, this is a city center, just like we're in city center in Leicester, and you rent office and you scam everybody in the world. So if I'm to work for these people, that's the type of behavior you come across these people right now. I don't know these governments, like, yeah, they have departments, ministers, everything. This is happening right in their nose. Yeah, they should know. It's that, well, you can't do this. This is we pay something for you, and you're providing a service. You go to a sweet shop and you buy Mars bars. It's a two-way transaction. I give you 10p and you give me Mars bar, just a figuratively, yeah. So what's going on here? So I mean, and so of course, when you give away voluntarily all your power of bargaining everything, meaning if you have the money and have to pay a service provider, then you can bargain. But this is done collectively as a society right now. Yeah, the money comes from government work program and such things right now. So that you lose bargain, and these people, they run these shows, and people, anyhow, people running a training company somewhere. Yeah. I'm not saying all the training companies are bad. That's far from it right now. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, what is going on here? The simplest things, like you're asking, you're pleading with them. It should be other around. I'm the one giving you your potatoes, mate. Yeah, for breakfast. Yeah, and you're telling me, yeah, that's how it works out. I mean, what's going on here? There's too much communism. Comrade, we need to disband big nation theory, yeah. We need a small country, Bit of communist joke. I know that I'm against communism, but please, don't get me wrong. Your natural bargain right now, yeah. You can bargain with people right now, yeah. So, okay, here I'm at the Market Stall. This is Market Stall Leicester, and I want to buy, I don't know, buy some bananas, yeah. And that you sell bananas, you go to the market, you buy bananas, and it's come in the morning, and and I give you the money that you put up for sale, you the price up for sale, and there's no haggling, nothing. There's no bargaining. Just it's there. You paid. But if you go there and said, "Oh, I'm not serving you, mate. Yeah, I've got a better customer than you." Uh, yeah, that's fine. You can do that as yeah, you can ask for more money. But I can same time right now, yeah, I can go to the next door and buy uh, bananas cheaper, right? Yeah. So then you lose out. Not that anybody would say something like that, unless they're completely insane, of course. Yeah. And I've got to see the day somebody said that to me. Excuse me, I said, "Oh, that means I'm king of England." Sedition. Watch out, DBS check, right? Yeah. You know, and I'm not going to disclaim I'm not. I don't aspire to be king of nothing. Yeah. Only thing I aspire to be to get a job. That's all. That's all. Once you get a job, you can live your life. The way you see fit, right? So so. Uh, but if I put my focus now, then I won't be able to focus, you know, on my ongoing program for the security job. Yeah. So this is very sad, yeah, situation. When normally these things right yeah, you see this program on YouTube right now, yeah. To bad reviews and the company replies back and they put them very professionally and the other person start crying at the end. Oh yeah, oh no because the power of the written word right now, yeah. But if I go to that mood, all my energy and potential go that direction right now, yeah. I started looking at because people use the Microsoft Word and then you forget all the beautiful things you used to write in your diary and then the word's gone, it's all done over there. And then you're God, how good I was, yeah, lots of writing and so the spell checker. Blame it on the spell checker. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people have the same problem, right? And I'm thinking, no, I just need to do this SI course. Yeah, done this people open the SI account this week right now, yeah. And then we just go through the process and some number of months before we get the badge, provided we need to complete the course first right now, yeah. Yeah. And then pass the test and then apply and that's how it's done right now, yeah. But of course, if you pay, yeah, you can do it, much shorter time, and there's customer services courses involved and such things that it's all mandatory part of the say, courses. And the security is very, very, it's a it's a must for everywhere really. It's security. I mean, you go to the market, there's security. Yeah, there's the fish market, they have security there. They have, I mean, there's so many. I mean, there's two security. Security. I mean, massive security in the fish market. Yeah, contract security. So yeah, and I'm thinking, okay, what am I supposed to? And I normally you confide in your mates and all that, but people they're busy with their own thing, and nobody wants to listen to nobody. Yeah. So uh, I'm just trying to sort of get thing out of my chest, really. Yeah. And so come Monday right now, I do this course right now. Yeah. Put my focus on there right now. Yeah. But I'm saying, yeah, it's like, you know, you you're with Robin Hood sometime, but then when Robin Hood get caught, uh, I told you, yeah, the king shilling, had this price, yeah, but when the king wasn't looking, you were part of the Robin Hood. Uh, so that kind of experience you get these people, right? I say, who are you trying to insult here, right? Yeah. I mean, are you trying to insult my intelligence? I mean, and I don't know how people they dare speak to people in general like this, yeah. I mean, you're sitting behind a computer and you're supposed to be a civil servant, right? Yeah. And you can see the corruption, yeah, and the interlinked part of the whole thing, right? Yeah. Everybody we know best, yeah. My state theory right now. You over there, this is in today's modern economy. If you treat people like this, yeah. I mean, just a few years ago, I saw some message, news bulletin that just came up right now on the screen. Some kind of fire brigade uh, in London establishment no nos with discriminations. Now, if you're putting people in a head of organization, lately we have, but the police in London, yeah, they even their very own top people, yeah, they're saying, oh no, this can't go on. We can't run a big city, right? Yeah, any city. These people getting away with things that they shouldn't get away with. Let's put it this way, right? And I think, okay, you're supposed to be the one, the upholder of the law, and you're the one who's doing the crime. So somebody goes rob the the penny sweet box outside the sweet shops and that sort of thing. Just give me a comical example right now. And then the person who's doing it says, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, I'm not looking right now. You give me one and I need to go on duty. That kind of police force, right? So, yeah. And when I see these people in uniform, excuse me, when is the last time you hugged your girlfriend or your missus, yeah? Think, yeah, why are you working in this type of environment? Yeah. If you don't want to this, you don't serve the community. If you have prejudice against a particular individual, a group of people of different ethnic background. And today's world, people travel. They could be one city for 10 minutes, yeah, 20 minutes later they're somewhere else. I'm just giving comical examples, yeah. So they could be people just passing by, and it's creating a lot of issues, between nations as well. People get arrested in one country to another for nothing, banged up, here, there, and all these things, right, yeah, and on false trumped up charges and like all these things, like, and also London, like it's quite diverse, multi-ethnic, right? So people have each community, they have their own outlook on life, their historical baggage, yeah. So really, people take very personally, like when somebody stops them, yeah, or looks them up, right, yeah. So usually, what I do, like when somebody looks at me, so I'm looking for a job as a policeman, yeah. Why not together? These are like, okay. So what I would have said is, what are you looking at? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I know these people, yeah, they have uh, power of arrest, yeah. I'm talking about the police force, right? So a lot of these cocky policemen and some of them women as well, they have this thing about them, so they're wearing a uniform. I never used to think like that. I used to be sort of buddy buddy with the police. Oh, British police, yeah. But of course, that was my BBC perspective, right? But since then, the world has, I mean, the world, the internet, I mean, it changed people everywhere. It's okay. Shouldn't it be, so your body language should be like, okay, my name is Jalal, yeah, but you're not to know that. No, so I introduce myself as Jalal right now. So, hello there, how are you? Oh, may I know your name, please? No. That is the English way, yeah, as far as I can tell. No. So I'm mimicking maybe 1950s emigre. Yeah, because you meet a lot of me, because when I was at school, yeah, you meet a lot of people who retired by that time right now, and they tell their stories of their life, and I used to listen to them. I used to do charity work, and I used to be very fond of those time with those people. Right, I used to be a translator for them, and housing, filling out forms, and I used to love doing that because I know I was helping people. I can see in their eyes that it's greatly appreciated right now. Yeah, the teas and coffee they were providing. So you feel something worthwhile. Yeah, that you've done right for another human being right now. I'm very proud of that right now. Yeah, I know. I just wanted to work, and I did for a year, and I feel good. Yeah, yeah. And then of course I got my first interest in cars, and you know what happened then. But that 1 year was beautiful after I left school, right? Oh yeah, I mean, I really used to go to my volunteering very dutifully and sharp, shoe polish, everything else, and everybody like, are you here to? What is it? You seem to be so prepared here. No, nobody hasn't changed their shirt in 3 days. You know, you're here. You're changing shirt every twice a day, right? Just volunteering right there. So that kind of passion I used to have, helping. So I never picked up self-interest wasn't that hard at all. It was more knowing that you help somebody. they needed help, yeah. And that's what matters, yeah. Yeah. Because, it is something worthwhile, it's something that you've done, yeah, that you to worry of somebody because they may be behind rent arrears, or was the poll tax moment for a while. Then there was some issues. Then we had at that time in London. So these things, right? Yeah, and so these are some of my fondest memory right now. Yeah. So I think, well, unless you feel that you're serving a community, right? Wider community, there's multicultural, uh, cities and towns, and all over Britain right now, yeah, and all over the world. I mean, you go to Moscow, you find people from all over the world live there for various reasons right now, yeah, yeah, because that's how the society is set up to progress, to trade, to business, companies. That's how the world, is. It's not because ever since the advent of the steam train, the world of business, everything, and way back some years now, the world just changed completely. So that's part of life. So you could be living in village in somewhere in sunny Marbella right now, and somebody from other side of the world, go there for a few days, do some kind of business, something. So don't expect like, oh, this guy from the sky or what? Yeah, that's not the way to live now because the world is it's very different now than it used to be before. Even 20 years ago, right? Yeah. So if you operate in that kind of environment, so your law enforcement agency, the people you recruit now, if they don't want to be part of that environment, then they're not fit for that kind of environment because I remember there was a riot in London back in 2010, 11, I think at that time, yeah, or 11, 12, was it 10, 11, 12? Because it was David Cameron's administration here in Britain right now. He was the Prime Minister then, right now. Prime Minister of Great Britain. And there was some kind of, there was lots of rioting all over the place right now. A lot of historical buildings and all that have been, burnt to ashes, yeah. And there was one incident that stood out, yeah. Some people, they robbed or they mugged or beat, yeah, some tourists from some part of the world. I'm not going to say. And I can see, yeah, here we are. Here we have people have no interest in the society where they live. The law enforcement agency, they can't control the situation. There's no deterrence. People go in and out of jail. It's like it's buying a bag of crisp, yeah. And then become influential people later on, within the very, I mean, become police officers afterwards. I mean, I'm not saying police officers go to jail. People go to jail and comes afterwards. I'm saying maybe people have done things that they shouldn't have done, and that would cost them that kind of employment completely. But they somehow they circumvent the system. Yeah. That's what the police people report was saying. Oh, some time ago, now, a month ago or so. Was it early this month or sometime last month? And I was thinking, yeah, but we all know that right now, yeah. Because I used to work as a taxi driver in London, and I used to sometimes pick up people from the main metropolitan police headquarters people, and I can see in their face, like, yeah, they sit behind my car, as though, they're so self-entitled, right? Wearing this uniform, and I said, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, it's all, but I mean, I don't know. I wear a security uniform. A lot of people work in security, they become policemen. I could have become a policeman if I wanted to, yeah. But, I mean, you never go, I mean, you could, I mean, I know that discrimination is everywhere. I mean, you find discrimination in every country, right? Believe me, they will. Yeah. Even countries that is homogenous within, say, some place in the world, yeah. Because I don't want to name drop, even within them sub-community, section of the community, they have discrimination right now. But once you recognize this discrimination right now, yeah, you you can't have snake charmers giving good reviews to the snake actions of the snake. Yeah, can you? I mean, I'm not saying police, uh, snake charmers. I'm saying like doing an analogy right there. You can have people who are doing bad things, and then become law enforcement folks, yeah. Uh, and that's saying kindly, folks, yeah, yeah. So and these things right now. So we're dealing with all these things, and I mean, that's the type of environment you live in right now, yeah. And I just after 2 years of COVID right now, yeah, and I just haven't got the. I mean, I could go that route right now, but I know nothing will come of it right now. Nothing will come over it. No, nobody will get admonished, yeah. Nobody will. I mean, you hear that housing chief, got sacked because of some mold issue, yeah. Sacked, so what? It's your job, yeah. You're getting a fat salary, yeah. It's your job. This is what you do, right? Yeah. And that's what I really got annoyed to see these people. You're the big boss, yeah, the daddy of the house. You know where your kitten goes, in the hallways there. So you clean the litter, and these people they just like, oh wow, yeah, yeah, all for equality and all this state and I declare right now, yeah. And what is all this, yeah? The principle is that you should be accountable, have some honor, honor. So, and a lot of these people, what honor? It's only the money, yeah. And if you know you're head of an organization and of your actions or lack of your actions right now, yeah, that some people lost their life right now, then shouldn't you have something to say? How can you live with yourself afterwards like this? Like the Tower fire some 6 years ago in London. I forgot its name now, right now. But there was a famous fire and a lot of people died, and all these things, right? Yeah. I think it was 2017, right? Was yeah, very sad that those people died, yeah. But there was nothing, yeah, I will do declare, apologize, and the Prime Minister, Theresa May's administration at the time, so she went after a few days, yeah, it was right outside her window. You can see this somewhere in London, yeah, I think it was Chelsea. And yeah, yeah. No crying, no wailing. I'm the Prime Minister, yeah. Oh, I'm a woman. Oh, please, yeah, yeah. Oh, my fellow Brits, yeah, they died. No, I do declare, I am at the behest of the corporations. And I think Theresa May is a corporation. Please, yeah, nothing is Theresa May. Yeah, I'm not a politician. I only vote, because that's my right, to vote right now. So, yeah, I'm not saying anything like, why should anybody cry? But I'm just saying, if you're the leader, of this nation, shouldn't you go and, you know, go and see what's happening right now? Yeah. And all these women murders and abductions and, yeah, I mean, it's terrible crimes, last several years right now, yeah. In particular, the last few years right now, yeah. And this beautiful soul right now, yeah. And I'm paraphrasing, somebody. And these people, there's a one policeman of all people, murdered a woman in London, yeah. A policeman. I mean, I think the statement he made afterwards was like, you want to be punished, maybe get some kind of sexual gratification being in prison. Well, I need to be punished. What kind of person say? I mean, that's all I can read. I mean, first you use your official authority and then practice for a woman, yeah. And it's very sad because it's a human life. I can see, yeah. Uh, and the particular person who that I wanted to I want to mention, of all the equally tragic, is a young British Bangladeshi woman teacher in London. Yeah, she was in broad daylight. Yeah, I think it was a Friday like this. Yeah, she was murdered, right in the middle of a park. She was, you know, bludgeoned to the ground is, some kind of instrument, yeah, or implements, yeah. And then sort of uh, taken away, yeah, by some person, yeah. And then I'm thinking, God, because I felt really pain, yeah, great pain I felt for that woman, yeah. Here we are, a single father raising a daughter, yeah. I think this family, right, yeah, this teacher's family, I think they were separated, divorced. I don't know the in and out of their family, but the two have the family, the wife, they live in the separate houses. And I think they might have separated or divorced early, and the one child opted to stay with the father. The children are very close to the parents, yeah, and some close to their father, mother, or both, yeah. And young people, right now, they love the parents equally, yeah. They might not say so, but so sometimes they feel comfortable with one parent to another, yeah. Maybe they have leeway with them. They're more sort of liberal with them, with their playing habits and the skateboards and whatnot. You see, yeah, you know. But I felt very sorry, that first time in my life, yeah, I felt anger, in a true sense of the word, yeah. The law enforcement, oh God, yeah, how we do declare we need some promotion, yeah, yeah, and the boys, I mean, yeah, people roaming the cities, yeah, and they're murdering people left every other day, yeah. What's going on here? Oh, there's official report. Oh, they had bad in life, Oh God, we can't show their faces, yeah. Oh, they need to, yeah. So these people, they just come out of prison and murder again people. And I tell you, this happens so many times, yeah. But because of this lady, yeah, the teacher, the 28-year-old teacher, yeah, she came from the South Asian community, or more particular, the British Bangladesh community, like I uh, emanate from, right? I know, well, the food, the language, and it really felt pain, yeah. You know, the type of pain you feel like, yeah, like sort of a primal pain, yeah. I felt, we're indoctrinated to be civil and obey the law, your whole system is geared down to be civil, and you can't show anger and all that, and the people get away, and these people, they go to jail and they come out, yeah. There was a one person here in Leicester, somebody murdered some woman, yeah, some people, yeah, and they attempted to let them out after so many years, but this person is a danger to other women. Mm, like, if you let them loose right now, yeah, after they serve the sentence right now, they just have something against women, or some people generally like, oh yeah, because basically I'm not going to say they lost in touch with God, or that's not my department right now, and I'm not here to preach, yeah, but I'm saying, some people don't care what they do; they just do it, yeah. So, I mean, if you just let them loose, yeah. It was an incident in Thailand a little while ago. Some guy, and a police officer again, yeah, murdered some young uh, 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 small children in a play school. And I mean, I don't want to think, what went on there right now, yeah. I'm thinking, God, what is going on here? What is going on here right now? Yeah? There was no national, like, soul searching, nothing, nothing, nothing. And these youngsters, like, they wonder they would have been somebody like me. And heaven, you know, like, you know, excuse me. Now, so here we are. my kind of exercise arms. Hold on. This is a okay arm strengthening device that I bought in 2015. Right. Yeah. It's basically to mountain climbing. Yeah, rock climbing. So I was going to show my elevation training mask. 2.0. It's for high altitude training. The 2.1 and 2.2 right there. But it's here somewhere. There's so much gear in this place right now. Yeah. The part you're seeing is that there's not much to see, but there are gears here right now. But it's somewhere right now. I was going to put it on right now. Yeah. I said, no. I need to do my laundry a little bit later right now. Yeah. And tomorrow I'm doing the park run here in Leicester in Victoria Park right now. Yeah. So I need to sleep a certain time, wake up and all that. Yeah. But I knew I have to really get it out of my chest, all these things right now. Yeah. Because your mind, you feel like this is it's a joke. Yeah, these people, they don't make a statement, they're not allowed into court, and all this lovely, lovely law, video camera evidence, and I said, look, what is going on here? And please don't think I'm so. Oh, he's promoting change and parade them in the middle of London. I'm not saying that at all. Yeah, we passed that time in the history of the world. Right? People don't do that anymore. Not that in my recollection right now. But I'm saying there should be a deterrence. Yeah. And for some time now, I searched to, talk about these things, with people. Many, many months passed by, yeah, you know, particularly about the Bengali teacher, yeah. But I didn't know who to speak to. Who would I speak to? In the city, like, nobody wants to know nothing. And I said, you know, these people, they just come out of the woodwork right now, yeah. There was no big demonstration, nothing. There's one type of demonstration for the woman who was kidnapped, the marketing executive by the policeman and later murdered. Right now, yeah. There's one type of demonstration, great, display of unity and everything. For this poor woman, right, yeah, the prime of her life, she was murdered in broad daylight, yeah, bludgeoned to death, yeah, or maybe later, yeah, and all manner of things, and I'm not going to the emotional side of things. If I go to the side, yeah, then it will really, it's not for, you don't broadcast these things, that's why it makes people to differentiate between your emotion and your clinical outlook, yeah, otherwise you wouldn't be able to say anything because you would think, oh, you're a bit angry and punishment and all that, yeah. So this is it, yeah. I'm gonna tell you what, right now, yeah, these big corporations like insurance companies, they're making the money, yeah, and the same in America, right now, yeah, you know, they just put them there, like so Cambridge Analytica and all that, mess the whole uh, democratic system and this group, that group, and talk and talk and talk, yeah. And Americans are getting poorer and poorer, rich are getting richer and richer, and people elsewhere, they're taking uh, employment that rightfully belongs to the Americans, but the Americans, they shift their manufacturing overseas, and the bridges and motorways, they're left in derelict conditions. So I mean, this is the thing is, we live in an oligarchy system right now, yeah, and I just really feel that, yeah, this is it. You see, yeah, I'm just trying to get my SIA badge, yeah. As soon as I get a badge, heaven above, right, my SIA badge, this would be my to. Well, the SIA, the time I worked in London security, at that time it was a CITO course, Security Industries Training Organization. It was a week course or so, but there was no SIA badge at that time, right? Yeah. Although you had to do your check, yeah, police background, but that's no issue right there. Yeah. So, and then I did twice here in Leicester right now. It's basically a job right now, yeah. But this time, I'm hoping to go back to circulation. So once you have gainful employment, yeah, you can go to do things. You can move house, you can better accommodation, right? Yeah, less insurance, skills, you can do all manner of jobs. There's so many jobs out there, that they don't get filled because of issues with personal mobility, transport, right? Yeah, buses and things like that. So, but this is it. I need to be in a position where I can get a job because, and if I see these things like, yeah, I mean, if it was, if this happened before the internet, I would go nowhere near these people. I just work in a factory as I used to before and mind my own business. Go to holiday in Paris and south of France, pretend I'm a big guy. Actually, I work in factory in London. I still do that right there. Oh yeah, I live my dream. The ramparts, yeah, in Avignon in Provence, and I lived there for months at one time, yeah. So that was sort of, oh yeah, yeah, love it, yeah. But now you see, you can't sit down like this, you know, and so I'm hoping, yeah, to get this course, and I'm not going to do anything because I know once you put this, your focus, like you want some kind of redress, yeah, and this they just it's too long-winded, yeah, I mean, what's going on here? What about the transaction, yeah? You give me something, I give you something, and these people they want you to fail because they keep their job right now, yeah, by you being unemployed. Otherwise, they'll have to shut the job center right now, yeah. And these people, right, they act like they take out their humanness out, right? It's like it's our rules, yeah. And this woman was shouting today, "Oh, we have certain rules." And I said, "Is it your personal email or so?" Said, no, personal email, like Monica Lewinsky moment or something right now, yeah. Oh, Monica Lewinsky. So what's the matter? I mean, a balanced proportion, okay. And this very person asked me to send an email in the back some years back, and it was saved in my Yahoo mail. So, why do I have to see? And then she admitted that she did ask me, yeah, that I can, because on the journal, yeah, unless they give you a link, you can't send an upload document. I tried to do that, Well, I thought maybe I could be proven wrong. Who knows? But it wasn't necessary. I could just write it down, yeah. But I thought I was getting more information, more connecting with your work coach, yeah. And then the work coach, you see how beautiful the job title is, but so bit of fun now, cool it down. So really, yeah, this is it, yeah. And I never knew that I would come across this type of issues, right, yeah. I mean, what's going on here? I mean, if you're a boss organization, excuse me, you're the work coach, yeah. Who gave you permission to speak to our client like this? I? I smell right. Yeah? What is going on here? In other society, you get a sack on the spot. Yeah, look, you bring it out, okay? Yeah, we give you the money, yeah, excuse me, the Queen shilling, the King shilling, yeah, treason. King shilling, right? They don't have shilling anymore, but when I was a wee boy, they used to be shilling then. I think it was shilling, yeah. But I don't remember much, but I seen some money before when I became a toddler. I remember holding big coins, yeah. So yeah, and this is it. It's yeah. So this is like another thing that you have to contend with these people, right? Yeah. And you see, if you complain to the head people, right now, you go to government website and email, oh, the prime minister, and like that. I'm just prime minister or any prime minister. I don't want to name any prime minister, please. Whoever the prime minister is for the day, for the time being. Oh, yeah, for the time being, right now, yeah. But they just go on and on and on and on and on. My snake charmer's theory, right? Oh yeah. So it's like the policeman. He's okay, you're investigating your own bank robbery, Mike. I am police officer. Yeah. There was a guy I used to work for here in Leicester when I first came here, part time, and he was he's a great man, and in his own way, yeah, But he had, like all human beings, he has flaws, right? Yeah, and he, But I should mimic him quite a bit because he used to make me laugh, yeah. You say Allah. I mean, passionately, yeah. And that's not. This is something something to laugh about, yeah. Yeah. But I remember the way he said it, yeah. He's putting his hand, to his maker, right, yeah. That is so sincere, yeah. You never get that kind of, yeah, yeah. While he's serving his, kind of lager, right? You runs a restaurant here in Leicester, yeah, and he's Allah, yeah, Prophet, yeah, somewhere else, this, you better be, you better drink this, yeah, this rugby game here, right now. You started at 3 o'clock in the morning, right now, yeah. Oh, yes, yes, of course, yeah. You're right, I'm not going to name his name right now, yeah. He's a very nice man, right now, yeah. Yeah, and I used to enjoy that. I used to actually go for because it was his personality. I should drive his car. Go. Yeah, man, you're the greatest. Yeah, you know, there are people out there, lovely people, right? Yeah. Not many times you can go and say because of the bus I go to work. I do declare about the Japanese theory, right? The Japanese theory work. Scam, right? Just to make profit for this corporation right now. Yeah, it's they're growing, but that was back in the day, right? In the 80s, right now. So so this is I must say I'm just working this, circumventing this maze of things, yeah. I find myself in right away. Because I can work in taxi and but then now inflation, fuel price, and there's no end, yeah. I'm hoping to become a Uber, not Uber, deliver cyclist. You might say, well, why don't I have my bicycle? I can do that now, right now. But my cycling abilities are sort of very, very minimal, yeah. And I don't think I could, because it's not like a one straight road right now. I certainly need professional training. And professional training, if you're going to pay up rent, yeah, it costs money. And I don't have that kind of money because the 2 years of COVID, the money's gone. And I don't eat outdoors, anything like that. I mean, but still money is like, yeah, and come March next year, the energy prices, God knows where it will be, yeah. So, I mean, I just want to work out to see, yeah, that as soon as I get to sort myself out, yeah, with a job, yeah. So then I could, but this time I'm not going to look for, oh God, any hours will do, yeah. No. I'm going to try to apply for the CSCS course. I'm hoping to, as soon as I hear from the test, and work. So 2 different jobs. I do part-time construction somewhere, and some do security, perhaps in the similar sites, yeah, and just with day, that's it. And earn some money, and get to more better place to live this way, yeah. First, get my insurance down, and then things will look up by then, right? Yeah. And I've got clean license and all that, but that doesn't matter because the corporation, they don't care, yeah. I mean, whether you have points in your license or not, yeah, because we want to make our money. I mean, it's our God-given right, yeah. So, you can't, and they would explain to you all this, that, and I say, well, I haven't done anything wrong, mate, yeah, sitting somewhere, sipping, juice somewhere, some resort, yeah, and sitting directors and bosses and you're making money and saying to the public, oh, losses, but actually, yeah, this is the whole thing, insurance business is a scam. Because, yeah, insurance goes up every year, everything's insured right now, yeah. Well, the very people who nick things, yeah, if they don't get punished, they will do it again. So they using it as a political thing, right? They say, oh yeah, these people need fair treatment. Actually, these corporations, they're making the money. Hey, you done it for 100 times, right? Yeah. Yeah, and then no, you need more massaging, right? Oh no, yeah, this life is hard, yeah. So this is it. This type of law, penal, system, yeah, legal system, is somewhat outdated, I would say, in my humble opinion. without deterrence, right? Yeah, and that's the worst thing, that yeah, the big corporation, they make the money. People coming out of the woodwork, yeah, they have criminal record, they get important position, everything you hear all the time, uh, you know, crimes, celebrities and that's a different kind of level, right? Yeah, and they're doing things, they get away with it in plain sight, and there's all the inquiries and lovely, lovely, yeah, yeah. See, and that's why these things are. It's very simple, right? Yeah, you know, if you want to be bad, yeah, you have to pay a price for it. In other words, you'll be out of circulation in society, and you're given a chance to reform. And if you can't reform, well, that means you know you can't rub shoulder with people and rub their purses and the mobile phones or whatever they do nowadays, right now, yeah. And when you walk the street, now I dare not buy anything expensive anymore because I mean I had my Apple watches and that, yeah, and I realized this, yeah, I can see the body language. Somebody wants to nick this phone, and of course you can. I mean, uh, I can defend myself, but that's not the issue. Why would I put myself into harm's way? And this individual, they get a kick out of all this right now because they know, oh, battery's gone. I haven't charged this for in many months, so yeah, yeah. So this is my thing, right? Yeah, just so we are in the middle of all this now, and I know the system. One day is underpinned by money, and it's borrowed money. Yeah, and so yeah, you know, uh, the Brexit. Then we had the COVID. Yeah, and indecision of all these different uh, governments in the last several years. Yeah, it's more popularity, uh, opinion polls. It's nothing, you know, to do with, making more cycle lane, more public transport. Because public transport means, yeah, these companies, they get the contract and they need to make a profit. So why should they have round the clock buses? Because they don't make profit. So you see these things like the trams, they used to have trams here in Leicester, they don't have them anymore. So you see these things, I mean, and that's why you see once you lose your competitive edge in the economic sphere, Britain used to be a great engineering magnet. You have, for and look what happened. Because they lost interest right after the Second World War, and they lost, of course, subsequent to that, they lost most of their empire, and because obviously, wars, destruction, continental wide, yeah, people want to freedom from the colonies, all these things, right, yeah. So basically, these people said, no, we're not going to, what for? Yeah, I mean, fight for who? Yeah. So these people live in large estates, yeah, and we can live in these terrace houses, yeah, and for what? For glory and honor. Yeah. So that's why I see, when society, gives up, yeah, then that's what happens, yeah, and same thing's happening all over, right, yeah, because it's everything is run by oligarchies. That's all the money going up, and people are getting poorer and poorer, and everything. Every day there's economic growth, and there's so much wealth in this world. Yeah, there's no end to wealth. Yeah, food. People are going hungry right as we speak in this very city, in this very building. Not that they lack, in earning potential or anything like that. It's nothing of the sort. They have to pay the essential. They have to live somewhere. So that takes most of their earnings. Since people skinny bones and all that, because they plus you can see these things. People are too embarrassed to talk about these things. Right? Malnutrition is one. So I really, I must say that yeah. Despite my presentation at the job center today, I said, look, here's the email. Why are you so like? What's going on here? As though that they're set up so that I don't get a job. And I have a feeling that between them they work out, and I was referred to another restart program now, yeah. And there's another job advisor, I informed him by way email on Monday that I was doing this course, and he even congratulated me and everything. Oh yes, lovely, yeah, carry on. And then he sent me an email yesterday, I think it was, yeah. He said, "Oh, you didn't turn up for our face-to-face interview." I said, "Yes, but I'm doing this side course now, and I informed you on Monday, and yesterday was Thursday, and I'm going to inform you." He's threatening me right now, yeah, to the job center. I said, "Yeah, but there's two emails." So I resent him the email. I said, "Look, you see what I mean?" So when I see this guy again, I don't know how look at somebody in the eye. So like, are you okay? I mean, are you on cocaine or what, man? I mean, and so we need. So you think line manager of these people, right? Yeah. What are these people? Hello, excuse me. This is our client. He sent you this email. Okay, all right. We might be bad in the canteen, but you're not doing your job, mate. You can't hide under our skin. Yeah? Just because we look like each other. I'm talking about racism. Yeah. A lot of these people, they just, yeah? Hide in the skin, yeah? Now that hurts, doesn't it? Yeah? Whoever is it, it'll hurt. Yeah, yeah. So basically, these are really up to no good people, right? There shouldn't be these jobs right now, yeah? You flag them and say, hey, you look, you just, what do you think you're doing? This client is informed you and you accepted and even congratulated him. Well done. I got the email and everything. Allah! My ex-boss. Allah! Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can have Budweiser in footballs, yeah, and it's good to be gay in Qatar right now, as the Foreign Secretary in Britain, Mr. Cleverly, I think. I think Mr. Cleverly. I think he's a colonel in the British Army. I do declare, yeah. Britain is full of lovely, lovely, it's a fine institution right now, yeah. Colonel, yeah. I don't know these people, right? Some guy, yeah. Some dude, yeah. And I have no ambition to be a politician, and I don't envy, yeah, any politician. That's their job. That's their choice of career. That's something to do with me, cleverly or not, Mr. Cleverly, you know, officer. Yeah. So, and just really, yeah, I need to see my ex-boss, but he's retired now. It's a good laugh, because it's very hard to explain these things right now. This guy is so trying. He gave his Mercedes a take it. All right, how much do you want? Money? So I don't want your money. I just come here some part-time work here. I'm doing my study, and it's a human company. So I like your attitude, man. You never ask for money though. I was going to take more money this week. Money, between friends, money, what money? Check out your company. So nobody was sitting next to me. So you're sitting there. So I like your company right there. So you disarmed. He's so because he's almost blushing. Like, he's married several times. So it's, because I can't because you make me laugh. I never met anybody like you. I said, no, I never met anybody like you. So, make genuine friendship with people. It's really heartfelt, yeah. And then you come across people who's completely opposite, yeah. And we live in a digitized world, I'm talking about some 2 decades ago now. This boss, my former boss, But I have some precious memory, from that time, right now, yeah. I can visualize his face right now, right? And not many people can say, "Oh, my boss, wonderful guy." I'm sure there are lots of bosses, fantastic guy, but this is it. Yeah. And I'm thinking, okay, oh, maybe I've done something wrong here, but no, because I have to prove myself. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh God, yeah. Why is he so stern faced, yeah? What's going on here? It's a job center, just like the advertisement in the 70s, in the television. Oh, lovely, friendly, lovely. Oh, yeah. So, like, you're a small boy, you think, oh, lovely, everything's lovely, yeah. Actually, the world is not lovely. It's the opposite, I'm afraid, you see. You see, reality, So I'm just really, so just want to do this course, stay in, come back to circulation, I mean, job wise, and of course, if you have to get a van or something, you need finance. Without a job, you can't get finance because, and if you somehow manage to get finance, I don't know how you going people do get finance, even if they work, I don't know how to do it, but I've seen them online. But you're becoming so much interest in that, and you find out invariably that, it's a loss, So really, it's a no situation now. And I don't aim to get a vehicle soon right now, but first thing was I need to move out of here, this building, because we live in a house, ground floor property, in quite a neighborhood away from the city center. Things will look up insurance wise and everything, and no worry about cycling, parking, you can take a cycle inside the house, yeah. And just a few miles down the road from the city center, you can rent a small house, yeah, and you pay a similar type of rent, maybe a little bit more, not that much, yeah. So, but then your other costs will come down and everything else, and your earning potential will go up. You bring your van, then become self-employment and all that sort of thing right now. See, everything is like, everything's working against it. Yeah. I mean, I was talking to a guy, he's a lawyer, and he's doing the security course. Can you imagine? He's a lawyer. So I can't find a job, mate. Huh? You just imagine that person right there. He was going through all the hard work, all the dreams he had. It just going to see. Because obviously he's got commitment, financial commitment. He lives somewhere and he's got the other commitment. Maybe he's a family. I don't know. I never asked him that much. I only seen a few days while I was doing the first aid course. So yeah. So I mean, this is it to see, yeah. So, but I really, really right, yeah. Uh, I, I remember renewing my passport some time back, and they cut on the passport office staff right now, yeah. Many people, yeah, they shed staff right now, yeah. So I took 11 weeks or so, yeah, to get my passport. Now, before you just apply online, 2 weeks later you get your passport, and that's it, right, yeah. So I was gonna go to a holiday in Holland and all that. Maybe that was just before Brexit, yeah. I said, there's no job here. Well, I can find a job. So maybe work as a bricklayer in Holland. I don't know what got in my head. I said, I'm going to play bicycle over there, or take my bicycle from here, and it's easy to travel there. Right? Yeah. I've been to Holland before. I know people have. It's a very nice place. Yeah. So, so eventually I had to. So look, this is no good. 11 weeks, no communication, nothing right now. But then, of course, I didn't look online. It's, then they shed stuff. Obviously, when you renew your passport right now, they have to done on an individual basis. They have to do all their due diligence checks. Yeah. That's security, but so I went to my local MP, and then he wrote to the right people, but I don't think any. Well, he did his job right now, yeah. But it took 11 weeks to passport to come. But there was no explanation why. But then later I found out that they shed staff there. That's why didn't you tell that to these people? By what? Email, yeah, text messages, letters, a video recording, sort of one video, yeah. Get somebody off the pub, excuse me, right? Oh yeah, right. Your passport coming late. It goes to pint, mate. You couldn't do that, do you? So, you see, really, once you're accustomed to certain type of customer service right now, you can't go back to this type of situation where it's just unacceptable, yeah. In many levels right now. I was really, really annoyed with the passport office right now. Why didn't they tell me that? If they had communicated that to me, in those manners I described right now, anyway, or even an announcement online, yeah, would have gone a long way, yeah. And then I think of these bosses and the head of departments and governments and Mr. Excuse me, Minister, excuse me. Okay, the girl runs in the bus stop somewhere. Oh, the bus is not coming. She has to walk home. Oh, right. Yeah. Well, she has to walk home, right? Because you're the one, these governments in general, they're the one who's privatize all these things right now, yeah. And there is no there is competition, but the fare goes up and all that, yeah, and it's just complete mess. What is public service, yeah? Everybody's there to make a profit. As a nation state, yeah, government, yeah, it's very natures of nation state. It's a certain type of basic service like security, law enforcement, yeah, flood protection, yeah, and so on, so on, so, and transport, mobility, yeah. That means roads, yeah, off season, right, yeah, maybe boats, canals, So that's the nation. That's how a nation is, you know, made of. Kings and queens and presidents. That's their job to do. Oh, yeah, oh, flooding over there. Something. That's their job. Yeah. So really, ever since then, I've lost really, for most part, I lost faith in this organization because you need to communicate with people. Yeah. This is no way to, and I really, yeah, these people can long, big salaries and all that, right? I said, like, what have you done? Have you, I mean, people have plans. There's millions of people from Britain that travel every year. Tens of millions of them, yeah. So this is just part of society, culture, way of living now for a long time now, right? Well, before my time, yeah. This usually started in the 50s, right now, when people were doing small holidays in Spain. Spain was an unknown quantity for us tourism was at the time, but then Spain became so popular, right now, yeah. And now Spain is one of the top destination tourism. So people wanted to escape the 6 years of war, you know, and there was a lot of death and destruction, right? Millions of people died, yeah, in this continent, in Europe, right? And elsewhere, everywhere, So really, some nation even lost a large chunk of their population, right? Yeah, 1 in 10 building in Poland was destroyed. That's a shocking figure. 1 in 10. When I learned that, I can't believe. Can you imagine a country losing 1 in 10 building? And all the people died alongside it. This is heaven. This is one country. Oh, what about the rest of continental Europe? I mean, so really, yeah. I'm just trying to get my mind off this sort of thing, right? Because I've been successful in the last 4 days now, without browsing the internet. I'm really happy now, right? So I can control myself right now, yeah, because I don't normally get angry, but I'm angry for a constructive purpose, yeah. To try to deflect my uh, annoyance, if you like, right, yeah. With all this situation I find myself in, multitude, yeah. Just, normally if I go to a cycle instructor, I give them a word of cash and he teaches me. That's how it is. But he can't say, "May, I left my sandal home. Can you come back tomorrow?" That's how I felt like when I was the judgment day. I took a sandal, Toyotomi Hideyoshi of Japan, yeah, he's in the 16th century, right, or the 17th century, yeah. I think was it Tokugawa Ieyasu or Toyotomi Hideyoshi, or no, it wasn't certainly Oda Nobunaga. Somebody, yeah, I think it was Hideyoshi, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, or was it? Yeah, I think he or Tokugawa Ieyasu. Someone was sandal bearer for one of the lords, yeah. And at that time, these nations are they steeped in tradition right now. Somebody who basically he was their butler or somebody, or on campaign butler, somebody who's basically gentleman, yeah. I think it was those type of military of kind of a employment, if you like, yeah. And of course, he was a good warrior, and that's how he became ruler of Japan. Sandal bearer, attack sandal bearer. So I work with my shoes, in the job center. I'm not going to use job center, yeah. And How my email? Allah, where's my ex-boss? I need a job. I was gonna say that. No, 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 no. They probably call the cops. Yes, oh God, yeah. You can't say Lord Prayer right now. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't declare civil servant. Yeah. So that's just like it's pathetic, really. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm hoping, to get into vlogging, and but I know what I need to do before. I attempted these things before, and this is very flat right now. Usually, it's the logistic. If you can take a bicycle in the morning, you have to worry about it's going to get nicked. Yeah. If you can park your car, without to worry about, like, I don't know, did I leave the light out, the front light, the battery's flat, and those sort of things right now, the setup of a homestead right there. Then you can do something else right now. Yeah. You have lots of mind to do these things right now. Yeah. And I bought few drones, but then you need approval to the video, and again, it's not done in a way that is it's not done properly right now. Yeah. If you're gonna do vlogging videos, you gotta really have it set up right. You can learn these things right now from people all over the place right now. You're on Instagram, you can see these people right now all over the place right now. Yeah. And you can learn things and you can go along right now. Yeah. So I think I've had to some, you know, a lot of these things right now off my chest for the weekend. Because tomorrow Saturday, Parkrun, another exciting day ahead right there, and it's 11:19 now in the evening. So I shall say my good night and switch off here. Here we are.